Hello, and welcome to the upper room. Today is an impromptu rewind and react session. I'm going to be doing this live. I I am a fan of a recent, at least a recent fan of a channel called the the Riaan Roux Show. So today I want to talk about a video he released a couple of days ago, and he was talking about how actually, you know what, let's play the short clip, and we'll get into it as we talk. All right, I'm going to play the short from the Riaan Roux Show, and then we shall take it from there. Right, welcome to the upper room, and I should have this ready and prepared. Hang on a second. Riaan Roux, cool, old news. Okay, so now you can see from the title already that, hang on, let me add that. Let me add you there, side by side. Perfect. Okay, so anyone that's a subscriber to this channel. Oh, actually, hang on a second. That's not the right banner. There you go. Just doing this live impromptu. Okay, call me the news hunt. Okay, there you go. Anyone that is a subscriber to my channel knows that I do appreciate news commentary channels and the news in general. I try not to I'm exposing myself there on that one. I try not to get too bogged down in the news cycle, because it whips up and it goes around so often and so fast. It's just difficult to keep up, especially if you're a busy person, right? If you got shit to do, you're trying to be a productive member of society. You don't have time to go dig into what the hell's going on at the Madlanga Commission. It's 12 hours of testimony. There's no time to actually go dice it up. The kids have got to be taken to school. You're stuck in traffic. You got reports to file. It's tax season. You're trying to find invoices. There's no time for that. Then enters a man like, let me do this, Riaan Roux at the Riaan Roux Show. Okay. He does all of that work. He dissects it and boils it down to a consumable 20 minutes, right? That you can find every day. And he does his due diligence with it. But he did release a short over here that I want to go through. Let's do this. Let me do this. Okay.
A couple of my last videos, I got comments from people saying that the videos that I put out are old news. And it's not that I take offense to that, but because it is old news in many cases. It's things that have happened sometimes weeks ago that I just discuss again in detail, putting together just the facts and without all the speculation.
Okay, right there. Kind of what I was trying to allude to. By the way, it's morning time. It's like, what, 9 o'clock here in Cape Town. The weather's great. So one of the things that I do believe that in our new information age that we live in right now, where nearly everybody is a breaking news reporter, right? If you've got Twitter, if you've got TikTok, something happens, you're the breaking news report. So we kind of so used to, when something happens, you have immediate access to it. All right. So I know we live in that generation. We live in that age. However, there is still a significant enough need for proper news analysis. You got to let that shit breathe. By the way, here at the upper room, we drop a swear word here every now and then. I'm not going to make it a habit, but there is a need for especially when in a time like this, exactly, where there's a lot happening in the political sphere. South Africa is in a transition phase, right? And so when all of this is just happening, especially this past year with the Madlanga Commission, the McDonald's quick fast food news cycle, although it has its space, it's not it's not and shouldn't be the only way one can get to understand what's going on. So you need some time for analysis. You need some time for the facts to come out, so that you can start painting a more solid picture of what's actually going on. So I don't know who in the comments, Riaan, I don't know who in the comments is lamenting about old news. I think maybe if they want fresh, hot take news delivery, they can go to TikTok. Yeah, they can go to, and there are platforms for that kind of news consumption, you know. But there is a segment, and I do believe you're going to say this, Riaan. I do believe that there's a significant proportion of your audience, and I'm not going to speak for them, I'll speak for myself. There's a significant proportion of your audience that kind of likes the, the the deep dive, and that kind of deep dive takes time, you know. Yeah, anyway, keep going on. Let's keep going. Let's see what you're saying over here.
Now people say, but you know what, my news doesn't have all that excitement, etc. And that's the thing. I'm not there to make news exciting.
Oh, hey, whoa, hang on a second. Listen, one of the things I appreciate about Riaan Roux is that when you go to his channel, you're not expecting. I'm not expecting a big cake to float from the left side of the screen, and then out pops Riaan in a tiara going, "Hey, guess what happened in the news today? How excited!" No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Who's who's coming to the Riaan Roux show for razzmatazz? I know, coming out of my mouth, that sounds like I'm taking a shot. No, sir. No, sir. I happen to appreciate the calm and measured demeanor upon which you approach the style. The style is cool. Look, I'm a millennial, right? I came back from school most afternoons around after 5, around 6. The news is on television, right? And there's this person in a suit just delivering the news, you know. Yeah, so that maybe that appeals to me. I didn't need the explosions in the background, freaking lower marquees flying. And guess what? There are channels that do that. Go there. Let the boring people like myself leave the Riaan Roux show to the boring folk. Join us. If you're looking for razzmatazz, god damn.
You the facts. And I'm not going to say this is the problem with other podcasters, but it's the reason I do my videos the way that I do them. I don't want to create sensation and excitement. I just want to give you something you can think about.
Right. And sometimes that's precisely, not even sometimes, that's precisely what the appeal of your channel is. You know, I'm a recent subscriber, and I'm speaking to Riaan directly. I don't know, like he's going to listen to this. No, but as someone who's kind of, I try not to be political, because I think our daily life is almost so political enough. But I do try to be informed, and it's very difficult to find a facts first type news commentary. Although, and I think I know which podcasts or channels you're referring to. and they have their space, but so do you, sir. You know, and I'm saying this as a fan. Whatever it is that you're doing is actually pretty cool. So,
And last night I decided to put up a poll to ask the question: do you want new news only? Nice, exciting, sensation-driven news, or should I keep to my current format where I properly produce each video? I put the story together,
yeah.
make sure everything has its section so that only that which is important is discussed, and then pop it into a decently produced video with headings
And that's the thing.
and
Yeah.
those sections and parts.
That's another thing about you. Shout out to your team. I don't know if you have a team of editors and whatnot. Well produced. You can see that there was due diligence and effort put in, and that's great. That's tough to achieve, and you could tell. And there's an appreciation for that. I think I was part of that poll. Yes, 90%.
Discussed as they need to be done, without sensation, without fake opinions, without what do they call it? Unverified information and
yeah, speculation, right? You know, facts first. Even in this weird information age that we are in, it's still incumbent upon the news consumer or the information consumer to really be discerning about how they consume the information. Right? Of course, we know that we're in this sort of world, and I do think there is a big space for your kind of approach to news analysis and presentation. And I think, especially now, like I mentioned before, as South Africa is going through this transition, right? There's an obvious gap that you are actually filling. So I think, man, the poll results will actually speak for themselves. Let me continue.
Speculation. That's the word I'm looking for. Speculation. So the results are in, and over 90% of people say continue with the format as it is.
Yeah, that's 90% of your audience continue with the format as it is. The rest of them are robots. All right.
Though there are some people out there that want to be entertained by the latest news, many people do want properly analyzed news.
Yeah, look, a lot of people, I think, in this modern age, the entertainment and news has become news entertainment. But I do believe that there's a significant proportion of people, especially with the kind of news that you cover, who just want the news. All right, we get sensation, we get speculation in our other areas of our life. We don't need it in our news too. All right, I don't need pork chops in my Kellogg's. All right, I'm not saying I don't like pork chops. I just don't want it in my Kellogg's. All right, you know what I mean? I hope I'm getting across here. But thank you, Riaan.
So I'm not going to be changing anything.
Hell yeah. Don't change nothing, Riaan. Huh? I wouldn't change shit. I would say keep doing what you're doing, sir. And yeah, I think, yeah, I'll take a page out of your book in terms of how you produce your work over here, you know? All right.
I'm not going to be bringing new sensational news. I will be continuing my format as it is.
Let them know. Drop the mic on their ass. Nice one, Riaan. So yeah, look, I just wanted to go live and say a few of those things. I do appreciate that independent news producers like Riaan exists, supremely important now that we are transitioning, transitioning. Oh, there's a loaded word. And then another thing I actually wanted to say quickly, if you are a subscriber to this channel, link is in the description. You go ahead, subscribe to Rian's show. I'm going to be doing a couple of more reactions to some of his reporting. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. Rian, cheers to you. Keep doing what you're doing, dude.